Tonight, emotional reaction from local activists who marched for justice in the streets of San Antonio last summer.
Eyewitness News reporter Henry Ramos continues our team coverage with their take on the verdict.
Do you think justice was served today?
No. Accountability.
Was justice served today?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that the institution, the system, legally did what it was supposed to do, and that was deliver a verdict that was just. But no, because George Floyd is still dead.
Trevor Taylor and Camilla Factory reacting to the guilty verdict for Derek Chauvin, the former cop convicted in the death of George Floyd.
Hearing each juror say, yes, I found this person guilty of all 3 counts. It was a moment in history that I'll never forget.
We don't see this often. You know, in other cases, we've seen officers go free. So that was the expectation, to be honest.
No justice!
No peace!
Last year, just shortly after Floyd's murder, Factory and Taylor took the streets of San Antonio to protest. They were among thousands here and across the nation who chanted his name.
I can't breathe!
These 2 activists say they walked and they fought for this guilty verdict.
The system needs to have an honest conversation about how we got here. And more importantly, the family of George Floyd will never get George Floyd back.
We have to do our part in the justice system. Sometimes that means having to record so that there is video footage. Sometimes you do have to step up and be a witness.
These 2 activists say the work is far from over. They say there are other cases where people have lost their lives at the hands of police. They say they will continue fighting for them and for change in the justice system. They say more verdicts and justice are needed. Reporting on the Northwest Side tonight, Henry Ramos, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.